What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Can't really see much. It's really foggy. Um, I wanted to do a video today on, I think, another aspect of manifestation. Um, I guess another aspect or another part of it, or a principle, you could say. Um, the I guess like the idea behind this principle is like doing your work and stepping back, right? Like putting in the work and letting it go. Man, that's a trip. Like the sun's over here. Down there it's foggy as fuck, and out here the sun is nice and clear. That is a trip, man. Look at that. Okay, so like doing the work and letting it go. One thing I guess, one thing that comes to mind, I guess, as I'm saying this, um, I remember hearing this one dude saying that, like you do, I don't remember the exact number, right? I don't remember if it was 60% or 80%, right? He says you do 60% of the work and the rest you leave to God or the universe. But in that 60%, you whatchamacallit, you don't do 60, right? It's a figure of speech of like the equation, right? But in your part, in your share, those 60% or whatever the equation may be, like, you still do your 100%, right? You still put in 100% of the effort. Like you do your job, right? You do your job and you let life take care of what it has to take care of, the things that are out of our control, right? Um, and that's I think that's very true or accurate, right? Like there's things in life that we have no control over, right? There's things in life that we don't control at all, right? Circumstances, events, the way things unfold, and maybe even like the seasons of life, right? And I think that's part of the letting life, letting God, letting the universe fill in the gap, right? Because we don't have all the answers. Nothing is really 100% certain, right? Sometimes you wish for something, or you want something, and it doesn't it doesn't happen. But what does happen is kind of like that saying, you don't get what you want, but you get what you need, right? And it always works out better than how you had initially planned or set your intention on. So it's do your part and letting life do the other part, right? It's like a two-part act or movement. And like I'm sharing this right now because I find I like this is where what I what I'm experiencing right now in my life, right? Like I've been, you could say, putting in the work, putting in the work, putting in the work, putting in the work, and even going after the wants, going after the wants, going after right, and manifesting and affirmations, taking control of that mind, right, staying away from the thoughts that steer me away from the direction I want to go. And I'm coming to a point right now where I guess you could say I'm finishing my 60%, but in reality it's 100%. Not really finishing it, right? Because this life is until we're gone. It is when we're done, right? But I feel like I'm reaching a point that is necessary. That is a very necessary part of it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be till later. It's even better if you could do it since the beginning. It's letting go, right? Like not having a attachment to whatever it is that you're wanting or desiring or whatever that may be. Like lately, these past few weeks, I've been kind of like with this idea in my mind that like happiness is a transitory emotion, right? So when it's there, I ride it, right? I get on that wave and I ride the wave, right? Um, but it does pass, right? It does pass. But the key is contentment, right? Contentment, which pretty much could be translated into being grateful right now, with everything just how it is, for everything we have. And that in turn leads to peace, right? Leads to peace. Um, at the end of the day, it's what everybody, all the spiritual teachers have always taught, of being present in the moment, right? Another one, I believe it's this dude of Franz Kafka, who says, like, you don't need to do anything, just be in the room and like sit at your table. And he's like, don't even sit at your table, like just be there, right? And he says you don't even need to be there, just like be still or observe. I don't remember exactly, right? And he says, and the universe will unfold itself to you or unravel itself to you. It has no choice. And it's kind of like when you don't want anything, when you're just at peace 100%, life just flows to you effortlessly, with effortless ease, right? When you're truly in the moment, completely let go, completely accept, um, everything comes, right? Everything happens when you stop wanting, when you stop needing, when you stop going after. It just naturally happens, right? It just naturally happens. So that's kind of like, I guess I could say where what I'm practicing right now, or where I find myself. I don't know. Kind of just letting it go, letting it be, right? Whatever it needs to be, however it needs to be unfold. But being cool with right now, being cool with right now, content, at peace, and it opens doors, man. Like I could say, I have a few days that I kind of started thinking this way, or practicing this, right? And new things immediately kind of fill in the gap, or kind of come into your reality. And it's a trip, right? It's a trip. um so just kind of letting it go, right? Letting it all go, letting it be as is, as is. So I know I'm a little bit probably scattered and probably not making much sense, man, but the idea is just letting go, like do your work, right? But letting it go, not be attached to it, not be attached to it, right? Because I find that attachment and desire, kind of like how Buddha and how everybody and all the philosophies and all the ways have said it, it leads to suffering, right? When you're attached and desire, and you don't get it, or you suffer, right? So it's kind of like the yin and the yang, right? Like you do and you yield, right? You masculine action and then feminine yielding, right? And I guess you could say this is like a yielding, but yielding has great power. It has great power. Letting things unfold naturally and come in their own time, if they need to come, if they don't need to come, right? Um, so just letting it go and letting it all be, right? So yeah, I guess letting go, doing your part of the work, and letting God, life, the universe do its part, right? And know and trust that's how it is and that's how it happens. So I hope everybody has a good one, and we'll see you.